Hey guys, it's Sam and this is my spoilery gush for The Hazel Wood by Melissa Albert. As I said, this video will have spoilers in it, so if you haven't read this book, go ahead and check out my spoiler-free review, which we linked on the screen. So like I said in my review, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I just really enjoyed it, connected to it, couldn't stop thinking about it. I really liked all of the characters. I liked how creepy, but like not in a scary way, just in like an unsettling way it was. So I really liked all of the different fairy tales that we got in here and how they weren't like any other kind of fairy tale. Like Melissa Albertson could write a compendium of all of the fairy tales in here and release that, and I really wish and hope that she does because I want to know more of them. Like when we got the few little ones like the, you know, Alice 3 times and stuff, that was cool, and the different other fairy tales, but like even when she's going through the Hazel Wood or like the Halfway Wood and she's running into fairy tale characters, like I want to know all of their stories. I found it so compelling, and just the story of like the story spinner, and that she's like spinning these tales that don't really have any rhyme or reason to them. I really like that. I know that's gonna be something that not a lot of people like, but this sort of like everything not being wrapped up in a pretty bow, I highly enjoyed. They're all very dark, and the characters are mostly female characters, and they are just brutal, and there's gore, and I found something really compelling even though they're so weird and make no sense. Speaking of characters, I just really liked how most of the characters in here were these strong female characters. You have Alice, you have her mom, you even have her grandmother, and I enjoyed that family type dynamic. Obviously we find out that Alice isn't really related to them, but I enjoyed that all of these women were very strong in their own way. Even though her grandma ended up being sort of horrible, this like selfish person, like I could envision this like almost 60s starlet who gets sucked in, and like she's very charismatic, and she ends up convincing this woman who falls in love with her to bring her to the Hazel Wood, and like the fact that there's these people that are sort of like scholars of these fairy tales and were able to find their way into the fairy tales, and like all of these women are so different and like very stubborn and strong in their own right, and I just really enjoyed seeing those kinds of characters, and I really enjoyed Alice as the main character. I guess some people don't like her and think that she's like stubborn or rude or whiny, but I highly enjoyed her. I did not see the twist of her being Alice 3 times. I saw it right before, but like throughout I was like, oh, like she's not, no, like there's no way. And the fact that it was like her the whole time and them trying to like get her back, thought that was very interesting and something I didn't see coming. I just really liked the theme in here of people making their own stories. Obviously Alice had to break free of her story, and then Ellery even decided to break free of his story within the real world and make his own story out in like different fairy tale lands and stuff. So I thought that was a really cool theme that was running throughout the story. I liked how creepy the Hazel Wood as a home was. I liked how creepy like the fairy tale lands were, like all of that. I want more of that. It looks like this is gonna be a series because on Goodreads it says like the Hazel Wood 1. I don't know if we've heard anything. I haven't been like tracking the author or anything, so I don't know if there's like more been announced, but I just want a compendium of all of these stories. I feel very similarly with this that I do to the Wayward Children series by Shauna McGuire, which is another portal fantasy, and this is technically considered a portal fantasy as well. I want to see like all the worlds. There's hints that there's other worlds that weren't this world that you can get to. I want to see more of that. So if we do a series, that's what I want to see. Plot-wise, I also really liked that she didn't end up with Ellery in the end. They definitely had like some chemistry and stuff going on, but ultimately it wasn't wrapped up neatly. She didn't end up with him, and he's off creating his own story, and I thought that was really cool and something that I wasn't really expecting, because I thought like, oh, he's gonna come back, they're gonna get together, but no, it didn't end up like that. She's like living her life, but like they're not together, and that was something very different and what I wasn't expecting from a YA fantasy, where I thought that everything was gonna get wrapped up all nicely, and it wasn't, which is probably another reason why I gave it such a high rating, because I'm sick of everything being wrapped up in a pretty bow at the end of stories. I like there being a little bit of vagueness, a little bit of like interpret for yourself what happens, and I feel like this definitely had that. So overall, I really enjoyed the Hazel Wood, and I'm definitely looking forward to future installments if this does in fact turn out to be a series. So comment down below, let me know what you thought of the Hazel Wood. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.